And so what happened was I put in my 2 weeks at my full-time job, and I had all these clients lined up. I had thousands of dollars worth of money that was going to be coming in. And then after 3 weeks, the pandemic hit, and I lost all those clients and I lost all that money. Hello, I'm Josh, and welcome to the Master's Degree, where you become a master in filmmaking. Let's make something awesome. In this video, I'm going to be fully transparent with you what I learned doing my first year doing full-time filmmaking. And also, during this video, I just want you to know sometimes I just start rambling on and things get a little weird. If that happens, just bear with me, forgive me. You'll get the idea. You'll just have to kind of go along with it. Pretend to laugh. Should I do a laugh track if like I say a joke? Laugh track, cue laugh track, cue laugh track. Sometimes with your clients, you have to take out your arm, you got to clasp it, and you've got to pin them down and get all that money out of them. That's what you got to do.
Little bunny. Where are they?
And then that's not how you negotiate. So how you negotiate is you just have a conversation with them. You just sit down and you guys talk about what you both are looking to get out of the project. So have your client always talk first. Have them tell you what the project is about. And then from there, they'll give you a great idea of how much time it's going to take you to do the project and what you feel the project is worth for you. So that way you can make a profit off of it and also invest back into your business. And so just a couple things to keep in mind there. But again, I can't underestimate the importance enough of just keeping it casual when you're having these negotiations with them. I'm doing this a lot in this video, like going, it's like I have bunny ears. And but yeah, just know that what I'm trying to get at is that it takes work to keep these relationships going with these clients and keep them coming back to you. My goal with every project is always to get hired on to the next one with that client. So just keep that in mind. Okay. All right, so tip number 4 is go and spend all your money on camera equipment right when you start out. Like just invest all of it. If you make $10,000 on a project, right when you're done, go and invest $10,000 of that on the best camera you can possibly find. And I guarantee you that camera is gonna attract so many high-paying clients and you're gonna make $100,000.
I need it!
No. So again, that is not what I'm getting at. I know we all kind of fall into this trap as filmmakers where we look at that camera and we're like, I want that. Like you look online and you're like, I want that new Blackmagic. I want that new red. I want that new Arri Alexa 65mm sensor camera.
I need it!
But really, that is a bad mindset to fall into. So you want to make sure that you always spend less and you save more. So again, I'm gonna say that one more time. Spend less, save more. When I first started out, this was right before the pandemic hit, so I put in my 2 weeks at my job and I invested all this money in camera gear. And then before you know it, I had all this gear and I had no clients because they all fell through due to the pandemic. Another thing too is that you can make a lot of great stuff off the equipment that you have. Oftentimes when you start out, you feel like you have to have this big fancy camera for people to pay you. And that's definitely not the case. People pay you because they like you and they like your work, not from the camera that you have. So for many, many years, I used a GH5. Now, I think nowadays that retails around like $1,200, which, for like a professional film camera is definitely on the cheap end, but I still use it to this day. In fact, this camera here, this is a GH5S that I'm shooting on. So anyways, my point being is that it's not so much about the gear, it's about the quality of work that you make. So number 3 is quit while you're ahead. No, I'm kidding. It's never ever give up. So when I first started doing this, I was getting a lot of work. I was doing it part-time while I was still doing my day job full-time. And it got to this point where I decided, hey, I think I'm making enough money doing this part-time where I can actually quit my day job and do this full-time. And so what happened was I put in my 2 weeks at my full-time job and I had all these clients lined up. I had thousands of dollars worth of money that was going to be coming in. And then after 3 weeks, the pandemic hit and I lost all those clients and I lost all that money. And it took me a couple months to fully recover from that. It was a really tough time for me, as far as financially speaking, I should say. During quarantine, I played a lot of Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda. Awesome game, by the way. I know it's, like circa 2017, but still, I really enjoyed that game. I beat it. And then I also spent a lot of time on YouTube learning and honing my skills as a filmmaker and becoming better. And then I make these little videos in my home and I would post them to Instagram. And I started to get a lot of feedback and a lot of comments. And when things started to look on the bright side in the area that I lived, I started to have a lot of people and old friends reach out to me and say, hey, I saw your videos online that you were making and they look awesome. And I want you to make something similar to what you put on your Instagram. And so I started to get a lot of work from that. So again, whenever tragedy hits you, or if something hard hits you in your business, just always remember to never give up. Pivot if you have to a little bit. Learn something new. Again, like I said in the last step, save your money. And as you do these things, you'll be able to propel forward. That gave me more energy to put into my creative work and to help me get through that hard time. So just make and relax. It'll all work out. I'm sexy. I'm confident. I'm beautiful. I'm handsome. Okay, so that brings me to number 2, which is make sure you never, ever, ever copy anybody. Make sure that you're 101% completely original. I'm talking like so original that you go out and you create a 3D hologram with your video and it's like a 4-hour thing and they show it all around the world. You win multiple Oscars, you break multiple box office records, you start a 3D theater where people can walk around virtually and everybody will know your name.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Okay. I think you guys are getting sick of these jokes. The number 2 thing that I want to tell you is don't be afraid to copy the greats that have come before you. I feel like there is something innate about disciplining yourself to create something that is similar to someone that you admire. Okay, so just to give you guys an example, so when I was in high school, my friends and I would get together and we had like one of those little tiny mini DV camcorders from the early 2000s. And what we would do is we would just be hanging out one Friday night. And here's how it'd usually go down. I'd go over, hang out at my friend's house, and they'd be like, man, we're bored. Like, what do we do? I'm like, dude, we got a camera. Why don't we go out and make an 80s music video? And so we went out and we made an 80s music video to Corey Hart, Sunglasses at Night. When I got into the YouTube space, I really liked Casey Neistat's channel. And as a matter of fact, his channel is what got me into YouTube because it made me realize that YouTube isn't all just talking to a camera. It can be an artful way of talking to the camera, or you can bring out a character and introduce that to your audience in some way. And so there's multiple ways. So anyways, these are just all different people that I copied. Again, it started with the 80s music videos, and over time I've always tried to copy the greats and just take little snippets from them and copy what they do. And I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So the next one is make sure that you are investing in your education as a filmmaker. And there's a few ways to go about doing that. So of course we have YouTube University, where we can get on and we can learn whatever the heck we want. And so you got to make sure you have a repertoire of skills, so that way you can, at any given moment, you can whip out a cool cinematography shot, or you can whip out cool lighting, or you can whip out an editing sequence or an After Effects sequence. So all of those things that you learn are going to pay off later on in your life, or probably sooner than you think, actually. And so always invest in yourself. Invest in your education. It's so important. I can't stress it enough. Okay, so this is the most important thing I want you to take away from this video, and I'm being dead serious. I'm not trying to joke around with you guys. I'm dead serious about this. And that is, just make great stuff. Work hard. If you're a doer, you're gonna succeed at this. And so what I mean is, get off your lazy butt on your couch, get away from your computer, and go out and make something awesome.
If you truly love cinema with all your heart and with enough passion, you can't help but make a good movie. You don't have to go to school. You don't have to know a lens, a 40. And if you just truly love cinema with enough passion and you really love it, then you can't help but make a good movie.
Guys, if you're still here, number one, that means you're still lazy. But also that means you had the patience to sit through my incessant dad jokes and to put up with all my shenanigans. But no, seriously, guys, you gotta get up the couch. Just get